Okay, let's go with the Java 8 only. So
Sure.
you're having the basic concepts, isn't it? The oops and all those things
Yeah, yeah.
and previous prior to Java 8, huh?
Hmm.
Fine. So let's go to, okay, so tell me what is functional interface?
Basically, functional interface in the sense which contains a single method, and basically it is used in the lambda expressions. Like directly we can implement a method. In functional interface, interface contains only one abstract method.
One abstract method. And what about other things apart from abstract method? Can we write anything?
We can have a default method and starting methods over there. But
So
uh,
what's the use
but
of default?
what
What's the use of default over here?
default in the sense
What?
we can implement the method over there.
Yeah,
In the,
what is the advantage? Why I'm going to write default method in abstract uh, in functional interface? What is the use?
no, if we have a requirement where in the functional interface we need we can have like, but finally the functional interface refers to should be have a one abstract method, and yeah, after having a default method and starting method as well, that will be implemented over there, but only one method which will be not be implemented, so that can be done as a functional interface called.
Okay, fine. Okay. So you have used streams and filters and all those things.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. Suppose say
Hmm.
I'm giving the chat box. Okay,
I think chat is not available, Sumit.
chat
My
is not available.
the chat is not showing up. Okay, okay, I can see. Okay, can you see here my screen?
Are you using the old one?
No, it's not like order. I'm not sure. Like why? I'm also not sure. It's not the old one. The old, latest one only I have downloaded.
Latest only. Okay.
Yeah, I
Latest.
think you can tell me. I can write down if anything is there.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I can see. Let's, let me type over here. Can you see my? I've printed anything. Can you see in the screen? Nothing.
No, are you sharing? I'm sharing my screen.
On the three dots, can you click that one?
Yeah. Device show
Is showing any
contents.
chat or something? Nothing.
No,
I think it is an old version.
old version.
Yeah, it should come actually. People, beside people chat is there. And also that reaction, we are having the reaction also. But why chat
No,
is
I think
not?
this is like I have not logged in. This is like a personal laptop.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is okay.
yeah,
That is
I
okay.
think if I, without login it won't come up. I'm not sure.
Without login.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
logging
don't need
in
to log in.
maybe. Huh?
You don't need to. This is a personal, na. You
Yeah,
don't need
yeah.
to log in.
I'm not sure. I am just
Let me.
asking.
I'm just checking if I can control the content. Let me see if I can find anything.
Okay.
Let me see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Can you see this one?
yeah. I can see. Analyst dot as
Okay.
analyst.
So okay. So this is an added list having duplicate elements. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now my question is how can you remove this duplicate using Java 8?
We can directly put this list into the set, so it will directly removes the duplicates.
Yeah, that is in Java 7. What about Java 8?
No,
Or
Java it
it,
also it will work that same.
yeah, yeah, it will work. It is having some methods, isn't it?
Means or else we need to do the filtering like filter method if already there in the filtering while streaming if in the streaming means list dot stream dot filter we have to mention if it already there remove. One second.
What you're
Stream.
going to write in the filter, that's the thing.
One second. One second. I think we have directly have a method called remove duplicates because in filter we can't directly remove the values or else we in the filter I guess it's going to use
Okay, fine. Anyway, set will do.
yeah.
Yeah, you can try set, but there is some distinct method. You can use that one. Okay, streams has one distinct. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, suppose say I need to say sort.
Hmm.
Let's say, yeah, sort a hash map based on keys in Java 8. Okay, so how can I do it? You get my point.
Java based on key
Yes.
like Ashmami
Hash.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
I have one hash map. I hash map set having values. Now I want to sort that hash map using keys in Java 8.
Yeah, like
So how can I do it?
yeah, like dot streams dot sorted of we can pass comparator dot key like can I
Okay.
share my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one second.
And where you are going to keep?
Like we can mention in the array only like one second. I'm sharing my screen map dot stream um, dot sorted of you can pass like key comma value this com- comparing dot compare if the value key is a string then we can have a compare method and we can pass a key and dot to collect and dot collect
Carry on.
select also this is also one way select dot to list
You're going to put it inside a list.
oh map this is map right to map yeah, this is map this can also be done and here only we can have like this I think we can have like this also one second streams not streams map dot entry set dot streams dot sorted comparing dot compare
Does this method have comparing dot compare?
not
Anyway,
comparing
it's
a
fine.
comparator it
It's
will
fine. It's
yeah.
fine. Okay. So where you are going to collect it? So you have in the top you have mentioned to collect in map. Okay. So that is we have mentioned. And what type of map you are going to use over here? You have to collect somewhere, na?
Here I think we can use only sort one and it will directly the sorts directly here and here also
Sort
maybe
that hash map, and it is sorting the hash map, but also returning a map, isn't it?
yeah here this is returning without
It is not sorting that hash map. It is returning a sorting value, and where you are going to put it?
this one you are telling
I'm telling you, what is that ultimate hash map? Actually, you have to put it somewhere, na?
Yeah, it is
Of the
passing the
socket.
value. We can directly put the map only. Map to map only. We can add.
So if you put it in the hash map, then again that there is no insertion order. Again, it will be again unsorted. So how we are going to achieve that?
No, no. This sorted one at last it will give the sorted with map. Sorted value it will be there, and I am adding to the same map. Means like it will be like overriding the before one.
Yeah,
Like new value
it
it
will
will come up.
override. Okay. Yeah, it will override. Okay, I got you. It will override. But hash map doesn't maintain an insertion order, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't allow to do the insertion order. So again, it will be unsorted. It might get sorted. It might not get sorted, isn't it? So how
Okay.
can you achieve this one?
Means we can the map we can have as a linked hash map so that that will
Yeah,
be
that's yes. That's what I asked. You should store in the linked hash map because it maintains the insertion order.
insertion order. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Uh, okay, so what do you think is different between collections API and streams API?
Streams like basically it internally uses the core of the CPU and it will start the process in the fast way. Collections API collections dot sorts you're telling. Uh,
No,
collection
I'm telling about the API. Okay, collections API and streams API. So what's the difference? Basic difference. Collection API means that collections interface you have used like array list, then hash map, all these things. And what's the difference between streams API? So in Java you are using streams API, isn't it? So what's the difference?
yeah that's what the using the streams the value will be like use the core of the system and it process the value in the faster way and in collection it's in normally the collection one will be like it will use the same core and same thread and it will process so like basically this will be little faster than the old one the collection one.
Okay, and apart from that,
And these streams have many more intermediate and terminated options it has many things options
so what's the difference between intermediate and terminal operations in
like
stream?
in
So what's
middle
the
in while streaming if we are doing any sorting or filtering or any mapping of a value or flat mapping the value of the object that many operations in middle we'll call the intermediate and at the last we'll be getting the terminated value that when we'll be collecting the object or anything so that will be called as a terminating operation.
any example you have for intermediate and terminal operations?
Yeah, we have here only like this sorted also we can call as a intermediate sorted method and at last finally to collecting is in terminate inter
Okay,
yeah.
okay, fine. Okay. And okay. So what exactly is the use of optional in Java 8?
Basically, optional is the one inter class they defined. Basically, earlier we used to directly we think like some of the object will come up and will directly without knowing the without checking the null pointer we will be going further and setting at some point we may get a null pointer exception and all. So in optional, if we place the object in the optional and if we use, we can check whether the object is present or not. After that, we can go further using that optional. That is the main concern.
Okay, fine. Okay, so what about predicate? What is predicate?
Predicate is like rules, a set of rules which is given, which is added, like while doing any sorting and all. We can have a particular predicate on top of predicate. We can means that is a set of conditions we'll be having. On set of
So
conditions,
what
we will.
so what is the return type of predicate?
Type of predicate. Yeah, I'm not sure perfectly. I was debugging. I was got like I saw like that the value is in converting a string. I'm not sure.
Predicate is a functional interface. So I think you're confusing something. So are you aware of functions? Functions in Java 8?
Functions.
Yeah. you have mentioned functional interface. So
Yeah.
predicate is a functional interface.
Yeah.
Okay. Then functions is a functional interface. Any idea of supplier consumer by
No.
function?
No idea.
Then how are you using Java 8 then? You are
Supplier.
writing methods. You are writing method how? You are not using functions. So just simply using methods. Previously, just in previous version, how we used to do. You have to pass lambda, isn't it? You have to use functions dot apply and all those things.
I'm not getting actually.
So inside filters, you just mention inside filter. What you write exactly inside filter?
Yeah, this is like which contains a single method internally, like
Exactly.
functionality.
Exactly. You check the condition, isn't it, in filter?
Yeah.
So which functional interface you are going to use over there? Okay, fine. I
Yeah.
think you are going to use on that. Yeah. Basically, predicate is returning the boolean value. That's why you put
Okay.
predicate inside a filter. Okay. Do you have any idea of filter function chaining?
No.
Okay, fine. And okay, what is the difference between map and flat map?
Um, the map is like the value we can in the object level. If we are need to get the only one particular field in the object, the output, we'll be doing the map. And basically, flat map never used. I think that is also returns particular field only with the multiple fields maybe. But I have not used that flat map. Map I have used. Means it returns means a particular field, only particular field value into return, means we can do the map in the objects, in the list of objects.
Have you used parallel streams in it?
Parallel streams also not.
Fine.
That basically that is it is like creating a separate thread for two threads, and it will start the work in parallelly. I think that is.
Yeah. So suppose say I have a requirement, I have to convert from parallel streams to stream. Okay, how can I do it?
Oh, sorry, I didn't get.
Suppose I need to convert one parallel stream. I have one parallel stream. So I have a requirement like converting the parallel stream into a normal stream. So how can I do it?
Converting parallel stream into. No, I'm not. I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, let's go with some more concept.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me share the screen. Can you see this one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is a class base, okay,
Okay.
and is having this display, and this is a class sub, it's extending the base, okay, and this is the test output class I have, and it is having one main method, okay, and now my question is what will be printed in line 1, line 2 and line 3?
Okay, one second. Base. There was new base. Some base dot display. Base dot display will be displaying some. Okay. Returning the casting the new object of the base. Base is the object of sub.
Take your time, huh? Just think,
Yeah.
and these are all basic things.
Yeah. I'm just. So the line number one, the base dot display, it will display the value which is in the in subclass, the value.
Okay.
Okay, and in line number two, casting database. That Line number three, it will come as a in subclass only. But line number two, I'm a little confused. But I'm thinking like that will be comes as a in base class only because the casting we are doing, but the value which we are giving is object of base. Or else it will throw error or exception
Which
on the
which which
casting error.
yeah, casting. What is that casting error called?
Class caster.
Yeah, right. Okay, fine. Okay. Mm, So, any idea about iterators? So, what are fail fast and fail safe iterators?
Uh, no, no, I have heard the word, but I'm not sure on that.
I haven't heard of fail fast. Okay.
No, I
So,
have
what's the
heard.
difference between
Yeah.
iterator and list iterator?
Iterator is a parent class, and least iterating is a like least is a sub of the yeah, means subclass of the interface of the iterator class.
Uh-huh. Then,
Um, difference in sense, I'm not sure like what you're expecting. Like iterator is the main parent which is having some default methods and using it.
if a
You,
list iterator is particular to a list, okay. So, it must be having some extra features. So, that's what I was asking.
least will be like dynamically creating the objects and all, dynamically creating the memories we can have in the list. Iterable is like iterating the same object, the value in the list.
Are you sure? Or you are not aware?
Once again, iterator will be iterating the values in the list. We can do yeah, we can iterate using the iterator. We can iterate the values in the list as well.
Yeah, that is okay because list is for the collections only, okay.
Hmm.
And okay, anyway, fine. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
So I have this one, okay, this array list.
Okay.
It's having say integer values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay.
Okay.
Now I have taken one iterator on
Okay.
this list, okay. And now I am iterating
Yeah.
as next, and if I'm checking, I am having one if condition, like if it is equals to 3, then remove this 3 from list. Okay, so what will happen?
This will throw concurrent modification error.
Yes, right. Concurrent modification exception.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I've asked you what is fail fast and fail safe operators.
Okay.
This is a fail. This is a fail fast iterator, isn't it? Because it is failing.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Okay.
Can you come up? Can you? Okay. Any example of fail safe iterator used in any Java class?
The concept I'm not getting fail safe and fail fast, but fail safe in the sense.
Fail safe. Suppose say fail safe means if I remove. Okay, in line 5 you can see if I am removing, then fail safe won't fail that. It will automatically remove that. Okay. So in Java we have one feature. In one of the collection class is supporting this fail safe operation.
We
Okay,
can have a
fine.
copy on array list.
Okay, fine. Okay, leave it. That is concurrent hash map is using. Okay. Okay, fine. What else? So you are having understanding of design patterns, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
basically
expecting
we used to use a factory design pattern mainly.
so what are the what you have used, which you are knowing?
Factory design pattern we used to use everywhere, and in some places singleton as well.
Okay, you can share your screen now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, just make it little big. I can't see actually.
Okay, okay. Is it okay?
No, it's hazy. Okay, yeah. Now it came.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is okay. Yeah, you can write one singleton for me. Yeah?
Singleton class. Okay.
So tell me what is singleton first.
Singleton in the sense like it will create a single object of the class every place. Like it won't create a multiple objects every time of the class.
Okay, fine. Come on, carry on.
So basically, I'm creating a singleton class and which will be having a instruction of the same class with a private and static as a variable. And this is the method where we can directly use the singleton dot get singleton object to get
Mm-hmm.
the object. So it will
Okay,
create only one time.
okay, fine. Okay, so it will always create a single instance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so suppose say you have deployed your code singleton. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm a new developer, so I am going to use it. I was thinking like, okay, yeah, I got singleton class. I need this one. Okay, now my requirement is I have to clone this one. Okay, so I am cloning your singleton class and I'm getting multiple copies of your singleton. So is it a right behavior for this singleton class?
Um,
I can create clone, isn't it?
Clone of same class. You're telling. One
Yes,
second.
yes. I can create clone. In my class, I can call your class and then clone it. Then I will get multiple instance of your singleton. So
No, only
how can you
one. The
stop this?
reference will be of the value will be the reference value will be the single at the time. That means only one instance it will be allocated and it will be giving only one that time also.
No, I'm not creating your singleton. Okay, I am cloning JDK itself do it, isn't it? So if I clone your singleton, then I will get multiple copies. How can you stop this one?
We need to like have a method of a cloning, clonable means clone
You have to override that clone
override the clone
clone.
method, and we need to stop
Okay,
that.
and then what you are going to write inside that clone method?
Mm, like returning the same object only if we're doing any cloning. We can give pass the same method, same object for that.
Okay, suppose say I am serializing your singleton. Okay, and after serializing, I am again deserializing your singleton. Again, I will get multiple copies. So how can you stop that one?
Serializing and deserializing for that. For that also some method is there we need to that also we need to like implement. I'm not sure something is there. I'm not sure on that.
Okay, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay, let me go to your resume again. So you have worked on Spring MVC or Spring Boot?
Spring Boot.
Both. Spring Boot.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me what are the advantages of Spring Boot?
Basically, we start from the POM. Like earlier, Spring will be having the dependencies and all. We need to mention, and we need to mention the versioning and all. If one dependency is having some version, and that is depending to the other version of the other dependency, if that is mismatching problems was happening earlier. We need to
Uh-huh.
put the exact versioning and all. So in Spring Boot, we have a parent Spring Boot have a parent versioning. Like if we have a 2.2.2 release as a parent, then we'll be having means Spring has some default dependencies which for the particular version it will be having. Like if you have a Spring hyphen web, Spring Boot hyphen web, that will be having the Spring Boot related. Spring related all the core dependencies with the particular version. It will be downloading. So that is a one thing. Also that is also the third. And in Spring Boot, the bean configuration and all, like creating a beans configurations, auto configurations, configuring of the bean. If in Spring Boot we can have a application properties where we can define the database configuration and all, and that automatically it will create the data source for us. So that configuration and all, it will be done by the Spring Boot automatically. But in Spring we have to mention the configuration and all explicitly. Yeah, basically in Spring Boot, the server also, like the Tomcat server, it has some Tomcat server embedded. We can
Uh-huh.
directly run the project without
Okay.
Tomcat.
Suppose say I need to use Jetty instead of Tomcat.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what I
like
have to do?
that also we can do. Like we have to exclude the in the POM, we need to exclude the
Uh-huh.
dependency of the Tom, and we can have a dependency of the what the server we told.
So if I create a Spring Boot application,
Hmm.
so what is the default packaging type?
Default?
Packaging type.
I didn't get the question.
You are say building an application,
Hmm.
okay, and ultimately you will be creating one executable file, isn't it?
By default, it will create a main method of a Spring Boot.
No, I'm not talking about the main method. I'm talking about that executable file. Okay, so you have created an application. Now you are going to, somebody is going to use your application,
Okay.
isn't it? So in
Yeah.
that case, you are going to give the executable file. So what is the default packaging type?
The command you are telling, the command of Maven build command to create a jar.
Yeah, the jar. That's right. So is it jar or what? What
Jar,
is the
jar.
default?
It will be jar.
Jar. Okay, so if I need to change it to what, then what I'm supposed to do?
The POM we can change in the place where we will be adding as a jar. We will be placing as a var.
Okay. So how will you handle actually your say exceptions in Spring Boot?
Basically, we can have in both the place, like using a try catch block. If we are having anything, we can catch and we can give a particular response. Or else we can throw any place, and we have a controller device. We need to create a controller device. In that, we can have a exception catching. Like particular, if we have a null pointer exception, we can default null pointer exception response code and all.
Okay.
We can map and we can send it to the UI, the APIs.
So you worked on microservices?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you give me some idea of the circuit breaker pattern?
Which pattern?
Circuit breaker. Have you used circuit breaker?
Circuit breaker is like a fallback mechanism. Like if one service
Yes.
is down, or like one API, one microservice is calling another microservice, and this microservice is
Uh-huh.
down. Second microservice is down. Then by default we need to give some response to the UI, so that so that the response will be like some code, like this is not responding. Using that code, we can do the fault tolerance.
Okay. let's come to REST. Um, okay, tell me one thing. So what's the difference between controller and REST controller?
Basically, controller, if you need in the API, if you need to have a response as a JSON, we need to add as a at the rate request a response body. In the REST controller, by default, it converts to the JSON. In controller, like if you not pass any REST at the rate response body, or if you pass any string value as a return type, it will look for the JSP or HTML page in the
Okay.
application.
So what's the difference between response entity and response body?
A response body is like the other rate response body is like it will converts the response object to the JSON format and it will pass. Other rate response not other rate, it's like a response entity is an default given by springboot that will like giving the response to the UI. Like that is an object, we'll be using that response entity and we'll tell like directly we can give the response code or the like okay or status, we can pass the status of the HTTP status
Okay.
okay or something, the status code as well.
Yeah. So response entity should also give that JSON output also, isn't it?
Yeah, it will convert, yeah.
Along with headers. Okay.
Yeah,
So tell me, what's the difference between a put and patch in REST?
put is like having the updating the any object. Patch I have not used that, like patching is like any patches also basically depend, it same as a updating only. I'm thinking I have never used the patch currently still now. Not sure on patch.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. We have all that we have used. What about which database here? MySQL 5.
MySQL and Microsoft SQL as well.
We have used Hibernate. Hibernate you have used?
Basically we are using JPA, so that internally is the Hibernate.
JPA. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference between Crude repository and JPA repository?
Both are same, like the parent is a CRUD repository, and on top of that they come up with the JPA repositories, which contains all the methods, find by, find all, and all methods.
Okay. Okay. What about the paging and sorting interface?
That is also like if we have a list of objects, we need to paginate. Means we can't like currently like we can't populate the if a call comes as a list. We can't directly
So,
pass the all the
so
objects.
JPA, okay. So JPA repository extends Crude repository or paging and sorting repository?
JPA CRUD repository.
Are you sure?
Sure, yeah. Like basically internally full on not went, but I'm sure that JPA is using the CRUD only.
So you work on Spring security also
Yeah,
and JW tokens.
yeah.
So you know how to use tokens in your microservices?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me the flow?
Currently, in our application, one service is generating a token by using a private key and
Yeah.
which contains the user details, all the user details, and which is converting, and that will pass into the UI. Means while logging in, it will pass a token.
Mhm.
Uh, the token will be in the UI. The token will be passed to the other APIs, and in the
Uh-huh.
what we are doing in the filter layer only, we are taking the token and we are decrypting by public key, and we will be getting the
Okay.
values of the user object.
Okay.
And that user object, if we are doing any role based authentication or anything, we need user details. We are setting the object into the security context, so we can access anywhere the object.
Okay. Okay. So you're using Okta or my Okta for customer database
Oh no, no,
or
we are using
something?
our own
Active
service.
Directory, Microsoft Active Directory or a separate thing?
No, for authentication generating, we are using our own service.
No, authenticated service is different. From which database you are comparing, like that user exists or not? Is it Okta or Microsoft Active Directory? That was I am asking. or any other third party you are using?
No, we are. That's what I'm telling. That we will be creating our own service, which will be
Uh-huh.
generating, and that will only validate the user. Means we will be having our own user database tables. We'll be
Okay.
validating from that. No, there is no third party like Okta or any Microsoft SQL, Microsoft one.
So what was the project you are working?
Manifest automation tool. Currently
Manifest
working with.
automation tools, which you have a token-based security handling. Okay. Okay. Do you know what are the components of a JWT? JSON Web Token. So what are the components? There are three components of JWT. Are you aware?
Yeah, we have one will be like a token. Means if you encrypt that, we'll be having what the algorithm of which algorithm we are using, and the user details, and and another one is there, and expiry date and time also it will be having. Yeah, basically like if you decrypt, it will be having both the algorithm of the.
Yeah, you should have one header, one payload, one signature, isn't it? Anyway, good. Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'm covered almost. It is around 45 minutes more. Okay. So flows now. Yeah. I'm done with your interview. Okay. You can ask me any questions if you have.
Fail safe, you're telling that I'm asking. Fail safe.
Yeah. Okay. So that is basically that concurrent hashmap is using. Okay. So what happens basically in failsafe, it doesn't act on that iterator. It creates a clone. Okay, of that array list, and then it iterate. Okay, that's why it doesn't fails. That's why it is called failsafe.
That is like for a mapping concept. I have told for the least like copy on a list was the least for the
Yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah, that is the same thing. Same thing. Yes, yes, right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's all.
Basically, it creates a clone of that structure
Creates
and doesn't use that list directly.
yeah.
Okay. Any feedback you want?
Yeah, if anything I need to learn, if you can give suggestion.
It's okay. Okay, you carry on. You need to work more on Java anyway. But that's what I think. Okay. Yeah. And anyway, I also tried so that you can go through. Yeah, you have passed this.